Hi class, today we're going to do a quick example on how to use background image in our CSS. So to do this, we are going to use the zip file that I've given you in this assignment. So let's go ahead and download the zip file. So it's downloaded and I'm going to go to my files folder here to just make sure it's there. All right, this is 3EX4 background. So make sure you have the right one, the background zip. I'm going to unzip it by double clicking on it. And you'll notice that now I'm in the folder, the zip folder, but now I have to drag the 3EX4 background into my downloads. And let's go ahead and do that now. Perfect. And now I can eject these. And now I'm in my downloads. So double check, and you should now have a folder, not a zip file, but a folder that says 3EX4 background. Okay, if we double click on it, you'll notice that we have an HTML file, a CSS file, and an images folder. And in my images folder, I've given you two different pictures that we're going to be using, at least for this example. So let's go to our text editor and open up these files. I'm going to go to my launcher here. I'm going to open up the text app. Let me get rid of old ones here before we start. Again, I'm going to go to my text app. And I'm going to open up my folder. So make sure you're in your downloads. And I'm in my downloads here. I'm looking for 3EX4 background. And I'm going to open up my HTML file. So it should look like this. And I'm going to open up my CSS file as well. All right, so I have given you the code already. So you'll notice if I go to my HTML file, I've given you the link rel style sheet that's going to connect our HTML file and our CSS file. And let's go ahead and open that in our browser just so we can see what it looks like here. Okay, so this is our example. And our goal is to make a background image. So before we have background colors, we're going to do a background image. So I need to be actually in my CSS file. And we're going to do a new code. So before we had background color, we're going to do background image. So I'm in my CSS and I'm going to be between the opening and closing brackets of the body. And here I'm going to use background dash image colon URL parenthesis quotation mark, and then one of the images that I have in my folder. I think I have paw. Let's go ahead and use paw2.png. Closing quotation mark, closing parenthesis, semicolon. So let's save that and refresh. Oh, guess what? The reason why it didn't show up is because where is paw2.png? It is actually inside the images folder. So good catch on my part. So if something doesn't show up, make sure you're in the right folder. So you'll notice I forgot the images folder because that's where all my images should be. So images/save and refresh. And now I have my picture. Now my picture repeats. You notice the bigger my browser is, it repeats over and over. So there's some techniques that you can learn. How to stop the repeat, how to change the placement of your picture. So let's go ahead and go back into my background image. Let's go after that line inside the body bracket and let's do background. This is where spelling and proper typing really are helpful. Background repeat, and let's talk about how it repeats. Colon, and we're going to say no repeat. Semicolon. Save. Refresh. And now it doesn't repeat, which is really kind of nice. So this might be nice, like if you have a box, if you want your image to be smaller, you can go ahead and change the image size at some point. We'll work on that. But for now, let's just get the image in the background. And then let's talk about maybe we want the positions to be on the right top. So instead of background, we've got the background, no repeat. And now let's put it in a position. Background / position, right, space, top. So save and refresh. And now it's, because the image is big, it's kind of the upper right top. It's a big image, so we'll work on how to resize our images later. But for now, it just does that. Now, let's say I wanted the left. Maybe instead of top, we want bottom. Save, refresh. And it doesn't really know bottom very well because our bottom is different. So let's just do left to top for now. And refresh. And there's the left top. So the background position, it's kind of like where you want to change it. You want to make sure it's not inside the text that you have, so be careful of that. Another thing you might have is you can have it fixed, where it just won't, it means it won't scroll. So like if it's a large picture, it won't scroll anywhere. You can have it, let's see. What did we did no repeat. You could have it at the very top, and do, let's say, just across. So maybe you just repeat. You do want it to repeat, but you want it to repeat across the x-axis. So repeat -x, semicolon, and let's save that and refresh. And so it just repeats across the top. If you want it to repeat across the y-axis, so remember math, x and y-axis. X is horizontal, y is vertical. Oops, sorry. Now it repeats across the or along the y-axis. So this is basically how you put a picture in. Now, some people, you might want to have maybe not a picture like this, but maybe you want something more, a gradient picture. So let's go ahead and find gradient background. And meaning it kind of it's got a color and it grades its way through. You can go ahead and find different background images. Maybe you want something like this. So your assignment now is to pick something different. Oops. No, we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and save. Save image as. And I'm going to save it to my folder. So your assignment is going to be to take what I just had and let's make sure we're in the right images folder. And I'm going to call this pick JPEG. And you're going to do the exact same thing that I'm doing. So instead of maybe this pause now, you are going to do pick. And it's a JPEG. Okay, so let's save. And so let's refresh. And so you notice it gets a nice background. So your goal now will be to find an image that you like, work with it. Maybe have it repeat. You can do a gradient one. You can do you could do a picture like I did instead of the pause, add a different picture, and come up with a background. And then what you're going to do is we're going to save this. So make sure, guys, I'm getting a lot still of the HTML. So again, this is what's in the folder. This is the folder. So if you want to see the folder to zip it, you got to click on your downloads. These are your folder files in your downloads. So then you can zip it. Right click. Zip selection. Remember, it's going to be your second one or your second copy, the one you did later today, and you're going to hand it in. This could be homework. Depending on how fast you get done for the quiz, it should be pretty easy. But your goal is to follow on with this video, work with the paw 2 or the paw picture that I provided, and then come up with your own background doing a bunch of different things with the background, either background repeat, background position. If you want more information about your backgrounds, I've put in this file CSF background image reference right here, and you can take a look at all the different types of things you can do with your backgrounds. Okay, good luck. Again, this is going to be due before class tomorrow, so it may be homework, but do your best.